Do you know if your computer has a fever? Honestly, have you ever taken the temperature of your computer? Well, I do have one of these things, so let's take a temperature check of the computer. Let's see here. No. How about here? No. No, not on the keyboard. No. What if I stick it into this thing right here?
Don't put that
there.
No.
How about here?
Don't touch me there.
No. I don't know how to take the temperature of my computer. This thing doesn't work.
Of course it doesn't work. You have to use a program.
Of course a kid knows about this. Why didn't you know about that? You didn't tell me. How come you didn't tell me he told me? What the heck's going on here? It doesn't matter who tells you, as long as you listen. Monitoring the temperature of your computer is extremely important.
Think of it as taking your computer to the doctor's, but doing it at home. You're a home doctor. Did you ever think of that? Without checking your computer's temperature, your computer may be feeling a little ill, kind of like it's got a virus. And if you don't monitor the computer's temperature, you might find yourself burning your lap. Yes, it's been all over the news. You've heard it about burning your lap with the heat that comes from the bottom of a laptop. So be careful on this, folks. Laptops are notorious for overheating. And when I say overheating, I'm not talking about just, oh, it's a little warm. I'm talking about a major system meltdown. Your keyboard is unusable. You've burnt out the side of your system. You've overheated something and you've burnt your monitor. And this doesn't stop at laptops. This problem persists in desktops. There are some serious issues when you try to cram a lot of electronics into a small box with poor ventilation. And then there's that cute little dust bunny. You know, that little thing that sits inside of your computer case that you haven't opened up your computer case lately? Well, open it up. You might find one of these inside. It's called a dust bunny, another thing that creates heat inside of a computer. If your fans can't breathe, everything heats up. Heat is evil inside of a computer. And if you are not careful, you might find your computer so hot you can fry an egg on it.
Now, we talked about a program earlier being able to do this. Tell you how hot your computer is. But you're probably sitting there scratching your head going, how does a program know how hot my computer is? It's just a program. Well, it doesn't start there. It starts deep inside of your computer at your CPU, your central processing unit, whether you're using Intel or AMD. Each company has built digital thermal sensors, or DTSs, deep inside of your CPU at the hottest part of that CPU, and it captures information about the heat signatures of that CPU and stores it in its own internal registry. Bet you didn't know that, but it does. And that registry is accessible by programs, and that's how you can tell how hot your computer is. Still don't get it? Let's dive over to the website where you can get this program for free, and I'll show you how to use it.
The first thing you're going to want to do is open up your browser of choice and go over to the website that you see here on the screen, www.alcpu.com/core temp. That's going to take you over to the Core Temp website, which is a free program. And this is where you're going to be able to download the binaries and all of the instructions on how to get this very cool utility installed and running on your system. Now, before you download the Core Temp application, you want to see if your CPU is compatible with Core Temp, and they've made it very easy for you. All you have to do is come over to the left side of their website, and into their menu bar, you see a selection for CPU list. Go ahead and click on the CPU list, and you'll see all of the supported processors that are compatible with the Core Temp application. AMD and Intel are on here, including the latest i7 series processors. Once you've verified your CPU is supported, go on over to the main page and get ready for download. So go back over to the menus, click on Home. In the middle of the main page, you see the Core Temp binary download installer for 32-bit and 64-bit systems. If you're wondering what operating systems are supported, scroll on over here to the bottom of the page, and it works with XP Service Pack 2, Server 2003, Vista, and Windows 7, both 32-bit and 64-bit systems. Very cool. So let's go back up to the download and let's get started. The download was fast and the install is equally as fast because Core Temp is a very small footprint application now installed on your computer. Now I've docked mine at the bottom of the screen to show you two things. First, the interface for Core Temp. Very simple, easy to read, and easy to use.
And at the bottom of the screen in your taskbar, you see Core Temp also places the temperatures of your cores of your CPU on your system. Now, you don't need to leave the interface running all the time to see this. You can minimize the Core Temp interface and it disappears. It doesn't show up at the bottom of the screen as a minimized application. It just goes away and it's running in the background. To restore that interface of Core Temp, simply hover over your temperatures in your taskbar, right-click your mouse, and select Show Hide. The interface comes back. Now you can see I have got a lot of intelligence about the CPU on my system. How is that? Because this all resides in the DNA of your CPU of your system, down to the CPU ID. This is not so important for base users in a home setting using PCs. More so, it is important to people that might be running this on a server, because certain applications that run on servers in data centers require the CPU ID to be a specific number for applications to be compatible. So if you are running this in a data center, you now know your CPU ID as well. Going down here at the bottom, you see the CPU Core 0 and Core 1. I have a dual-core AMD system on my computer, and the temperature is now showing at 119 degrees on Core 0 and 120 degrees on Core 1. So there you have it, a very simple, small footprint application so that you can monitor how hot your system is getting and take appropriate measures to keep your system cool. If you'd like to see more videos just like this, stay tuned to Interface each and every Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern at live.scottydonline.com. For Interface, I'm Scotty D. Take care, Web World.